Hi everyone, it's Kelly from Kelly's Bead Boutique. So today I have another installment in my quick and easy earring series where I take some simple parts, show you how to make a fun pair of earrings in no time at all. If you want to see what I'm making, come and join me. So today we're going to be using a few different tools. We're going to be using our flush cutters, our bent chain nose pliers, our round nose pliers, and our chain nose pliers. And as far as supplies, we're going to be using some 20 gauge craft wire. I've got a couple Czech Glass beads, some little Turkish bells, a couple heavy larger jump rings, some smaller heavy 18 gauge jump rings, a few of the little tiara cast hex nuts, and some ear wires. So let's put these earrings together. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take 4 of my small jump rings, and I'm just going to make sure those are closed. So the way that I do that is I put my chain nose pliers on one side of the cut and my bent chain nose on the other, and I sort of just wiggle them together, and you can see that just kind of closes that up. We're just going to get these sort of pre-done to make it a little bit easier when we're creating this. So I'm going to do that to 4 because I'm just working on one pair at a time. If you wanted to, when you're making yours, you could do all 8 at the same time. So get those closed up. And then on the 5th one, I'm going to open that up and put it through the end of the bell. Now to do these jump rings up, they are 18 gauge and they're small, so they're a little bit tougher to use. So you want to make sure you've got a good hand grip on your tools at all times and just kind of bend back and forth, and you'll get that in there nice and tight. So now I'm going to cut myself 5 inches of this 20 gauge craft wire. And I'm not really going to measure it, I'm just going to sort of eyeball it. But in your kit, you will get plenty of wire for your project. We're going to have this in 2 different colors. We've got this really pretty turquoise, and I've got a really lovely purple. And I'll make sure to show the other color at the end. So make sure to watch till the end so you can see the other kit that's available. So now what I want to do is go down about 1.5 inches or so, and I'm going to just do a simple wrapped loop. So I'm going to use my thumb, and I'm going to bend away. And then I'm going to change to my round nose pliers. And I want to make a small loop. So I'm only going to go about 1/3 of the way up. So I'm then going to take this wire and go straight up in the air, over and down. I'm going to open my pliers, rotate them, and pull that to the back. Just making a small loop, and just make sure that that is centered nicely on top there. So now what I want to do is wrap this around to complete my wrap loop, but I'm only going to do 2 wraps. I don't want a long neck on this, so I'm just going to pull that around twice, and then I'm going to go back up because I want a bit of a messy wrap, so it doesn't have to look perfect, which is kind of nice. And if you can't get that last little bit in there, use your bent chain nose and just sort of pull that to the back. So I'm just going to tuck this around, and that's just a little bit too long, so I'm going to trim off that little bit of an end there. Get rid of that and just kind of tuck that little burr in. So now we have sort of a little messy wrap. Now I'm going to place on one of my hex nuts and one of my pretty Czech Glass beads, and then another hex nut. And now I want these to be going opposite directions. So I need the top one to be going horizontal the same way as the bead, but now I want this other loop that I'm going to put at the bottom to be going the other direction. So I'm going to make sure that this is going one way, and then I'm going to just pull across, and so you can see that it's going the opposite direction. So, and don't worry about your little bead popping up, things like that. You can always fix that. So now I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to just create a little wrap loop. So I'm up and over and down, rotate my plier, and pull that back. Now you can see this is way off kilter, so I just adjust it and just kind of pull it around until it's doing what I want it to do. And now we're going to wrap that up again. So you're just going to go once, twice, and then work your way back up and around. And we're going to trim that off. Now I'm going to come in with my pliers and just give that a little tuck down. There we go. So now we have one going one direction and one going the other, which is exactly what we want. So what I do now is I just make sure that everything's kind of straightened out where it's supposed to be, and that looks pretty good. So now I'm going to take one of my large jump rings and I'm going to open that up. So I just turn my pliers over and just opposite like that. So now I'm going to put on 2 of these closed up jump rings, my little charm that's got a jump ring through it, and then the other 2 closed jump rings. And then I'm going to run it through the bottom loop here. and close that up. And you want to make sure your jump rings are always really nicely closed. So you can see I just kind of jiggle back and forth. And then I'm going to pop my ear wire on and close that up, and then we're done. So I'm going to finish up this other one and I'll show you what the completed pair looks like. So there you go, there's our completed sets. We have the pretty turquoise and then this really lovely purple over here. Now I will tell you that they don't look as nice when they're laying down. This is a really cute earring hanging up, which of course it's going to be when it's on your ear, but it's hard to show you. You can sort of see when I've got it hanging, it's hard to show on camera, but when I've got it hanging, the jump rings hang a little bit nicer than when they're on here and they kind of smoosh all over the place. But these are really adorable, super fast to whip up. The kits are going to be only $7.99, so they're really affordable. So if you want to purchase a kit, you just go down into the description box and we'll have a link directly to our website and you'll be able to choose the color that you want. So if you enjoyed this video, please make sure to give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, please make sure that you subscribe to my channel so that you can see the new videos every week. And please leave me a comment. I love to hear from everybody. I want to thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.